we're going to be covering all types of information on balloons, starting at Noob Logic, which everyone should know, and making our way up to God Logic, which even the most seasoned of Bloons player might not know. Noob Logic, well, the first thing in Noob Logic is Bloons is a game where you have to place down monkeys to defend against increasing waves of balloons. You can beat the game by getting to a set round, or you can lose by having too many balloons to get to the exit. You can buy towers using in-game money. You can make money by popping balloons or using towers that generate money, like the banana farm. There are 4 category types of towers: primary, military, magic, and support. As well as towers, there's also something called a hero. You can only have 1 hero in your game, and instead of being a max level of 5, they can level up to 20. But instead of having to buy the upgrade, they actually just gain XP over time and will slowly level up with you, making them a great starting tower. Heroes are all drastically unique, having their own strengths and weaknesses, and learning how to play to your hero's strength is a great way to have some powerful synergies. Each tower has 3 paths and 5 upgrades. Each path drastically changes the tower and what it does, sometimes making the tower completely different and unrecognizable from the start, and also incredibly powerful. The last upgrade of a tower is called a T5, and they're unbelievably strong. And you're only allowed 1 T5 per path on the map at a time, with the exception of a crossbow master. Talking about super powerful, some towers have what is known as a paragon, which you can upgrade to if you have all 3 T5s of that tower and a large amount of money. In Bloons, you have something which is known as monkey knowledge. Every time you level up, you get 1 monkey knowledge point you can put in your primary, military, magic, support, heroes, and powers to give you a small boost in your game. Some are really strong and even let you start with a free dart monkey. Free dart monkey, best dart monkey. There are currently 5 boss balloons with their own strengths and weaknesses that you can battle to test out your balloon skill. And they'll periodically rotate out to have special, unique challenges on the bosses to really test out your skills. There are 4 difficulties of maps: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Each map you can choose has 3 difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. After you select a difficulty, you can also pick a sub-challenge like half cash or chimps. So the easiest challenge would be a beginner map on easy, and the hardest challenge would be getting you guys to use my creator code in the BTD6 shop. That's right! There is a creator support system in Bloons Tower Defense, if you didn't know, where you can help support your favorite Bloons content creator. All you have to do is go here and then put in your favorite content creator's code. You can use creator code TEWTY if you want, TEWTIY, but you know, I won't be sad if you want to use somebody else's code. Just make sure to use somebody's code because it's no extra cost to you and it helps support creators. Thank you. Alright, we're done with the Noob Logic. Hopefully you know all of the things in there, and if not, hopefully you've learned some new things. Now it's time to amp it up a little bit and get a little bit more saucy with this knowledge. Still pretty basic, but maybe there's something in here you don't know. Intermediate knowledge. Tower strengths are measured by 4 things: damage, which is how many layers of balloons the attack can destroy; pierce, which is how many balloons the attack can hit before it disappears; range, which is how far the tower can attack and see balloons; and attack speed, which is how fast the tower attacks. Balloons come in all shapes and sizes, but some balloons have special unique mechanics that make it invincible to certain towers. For example, lead balloons are immune to normal dart type attacks and need explosions to pop them, whereas black balloons are immune to explosion damage. When you upgrade a tower to a T5, you can still put 2 upgrade points into the other 2 paths. This is known as cross-pathing. As you can see, I have this T5 Ultra Juggernaut. I can choose to cross-path the quick shots to make it shoot 33% faster, or I could opt to give it more range and camo detection, and it's ultimately up to me to decide what's best for the situation. Every tower in the game has an ability, and the abilities can always be found on the middle path of the tower. Some towers have the ability to buff and make other towers stronger. The most notable is the Monkey Village, which can increase the attack speed, range, damage, and even give camo detection to all towers in its radius. Learning how to stack buffs on towers is a great way to make an absolute absolute unit of a tower. Not all towers are the same size. Some towers you can actually place very closely together. This is known as a tower footprint. The smallest towers, such as dart monkeys and snipers, can be placed very close together, whereas super monkeys and banana farms have to be more spread apart. Some maps have interactable obstacles, which you have to pay to remove, like the map Cornfield, where you can only start with this small spot in the middle, but after you clear the map, it completely opens up, allowing you to place towers almost anywhere. Towers have targeting preferences, meaning you can tell your towers what balloons you want them to focus on. The balloons at the very front, the very end, or the strongest balloons. This can be very useful if you have a tower like Cripple Moab that can stun and target Moab class balloons. The main menu of balloons has a ton of hidden secrets and interactable objects that allow dart monkeys to pop up and fly around. Do you know where all of them are? Also, the village actually tells you what the real time on your computer or phone is. In balloons, there's something that is known as bordering. If you get every metal on a map, you can get a bronze, gold, and black border. You can even blackboard an Insta-Monkey collections. Now that's crazy. Now we're moving into the advanced knowledge category. We're past the noob and intermediate logic. This is for logic for people who have played balloons for a decent amount of time. This is where potentially people who are regular watchers of balloons could start learning some things. Advanced knowledge. Pat Fusty, while being a land tower, for some reason can actually be placed in water. And when he does, he can actually receive buffs that only water towers can have, such as Energizer, which decreases his cooldowns by a ton. There are 4 hidden settings in balloons, known as big balloons, big monkeys, and small monkeys. These settings can change how the game looks, and you can unlock them through achievements and Easter eggs. Speaking of Easter eggs, Bloons is chock full of amazing and hilarious Easter eggs. Some are small, funny events, and some are massively overpowered secrets that can destroy all the balloons if you unlock them, like the hidden temple in Dark Dungeons. Bloons TD 6 has its own secret language, which is known as Monklish. You can find it hidden all throughout Ninja Kiwi patch notes as well as in-game. You can also change it to an actual language setting in Bloons, which is this one at the very bottom. On the map Bloonarius Prime, there are 2 tracks, but balloons will only spawn on the second track if it's a prime number for the round. Cool, right? On the expert map Ravine, there's a sword in the stone that once clicked 24 times will pop out and fly towards the strongest balloon on screen. And this is actually needed in order to beat this map on chimps. Did you know that there's 10 main damage types in balloons? These are normal, acid, sharp, explosion, cold, glacier, shatter, energy, plasma, and fire. The buff from Permabrew will never actually disappear, meaning you can use a support Chinook to move them all the way around the map to give Permabrew to every single tower in the game. The true Sun God Temple has a secret upgrade path known as the Vengeful Sun God Temple, which requires a monkey knowledge point and some special sacrifices to make work. When you place a middle path ice monkey next to water, it will actually freeze the water, allowing you to place land towers directly onto the water. And you can even create a bridge of ice monkeys that span across it, making it hilarious and really useful sometimes. There's also a secret monkey known as the Cave Monkey, which can only be gotten on the map Frozen Over, as you can see him sitting right there. You need to get a Mortar Monkey to blast him out of the cave so he can help fight the balloons for you. He doesn't have any upgrades, but he can stun balloons and really give them a walloping. We're moving on to expert level knowledge now. This is for the pros of Bloons Tower Defense, people who have played for quite some time. These are very intricate tips and ideas that go into balloons, and so a lot of these you might know or you might not know, but this is where the category where you can start really learning some pretty cool things about balloons. Expert knowledge. When making a Monkeyopolis, try to avoid discounts as much as possible, because the value of the banana farm farm is what determines how much money the Monkeyopolis makes. Portable lake stacking is a glitch in Bloons TD 6, which by using the Ice Monkey middle path and a portable lake allows you to stack lakes on top of each other, eventually being able to see over any wall or obstacles. And after 25 portable lakes, you can infinitely just stack towers on top of each other, making it an insanely epic game-breaking bug that Ninja Kiwi has just never patched out. Favored trades is an excellent choice for elite bosses because they increase the sell value of other towers. You can sell some of your income producers for DPS right before boss rounds, then sell the DPS and get farms again afterwards. The Buccaneer Paragon is believed to be the strongest Paragon, but it's not because it's the strongest Paragon. The actual reason is because cash earned contributes 7 times as much power towards Paragons as pop count, and merchantmen tend to be spammed in advance. This results in higher degrees in general. Azalea's level 7 ability actually drains lives, which means you can use this with Elite Defender and Bomb Blitz for some crazy combos. The top path Ice Monkey upgrade in Brittle makes all balloons vulnerable to all damage types temporarily, meaning a DDT will lose its camo properties temporarily, making it a really good DDT destroyer. Heroes gain more XP the harder the map. Specifically, they gain 10% more XP for every difficulty of map you go up on. I didn't know that. If you want to get a high degree Paragon versus a Lich boss, you can intentionally use buffs to heal the Lich so you can get a higher pop count, even though this isn't recommended if you're doing a timed boss run. Jungle Drums is effectively twice as strong as Top Path Engineer, since the Engineer has 15% faster attack speed, meaning he puts down turrets 15% faster, and then the turrets that he puts down also gets 15% bonus attack speed. As you can see, this gets out of hand really fast, so the Engineer gets huge bonuses from attack speed. If you use the bottom path Alchemist Rubber to Gold on a Moab and then pop the Moab, the Children Balloons will not inherit the Rubber to Gold. However, if you use Rubber to Gold and then instantly pop the Moab using a takedown ability like Buccaneer, the Children will inherit the cash generated, meaning you'll make a ton more money. A 0-2-0 Alchemist deals 5 damage to Moab and strips fortification away, but deals 20 damage to fortified Moabs. This makes it the highest amount of damage a T2 tower can deal in a single projectile. We've gone through noob, we've gone through intermediate, we've gone through advanced, and we've gone through expert knowledge, covering all types of knowledge that people may or may not know. But today, we're going to be jumping into God level knowledge, which even the most expert and seasoned of Bloons players probably don't know. Some of you might know this, but most of these things actually have never been revealed or seen the light of day, and I'm going to be sharing them with you today. A lot of these things have to deal with mechanics or hidden secrets in Bloons, so if you know some of these things, that's pretty awesome. And if you have any God level knowledge yourself, comment down below. And of course, if you've enjoyed the video up until now, please hit the like button. This is a lot different than videos I normally make, and if you guys want to see more of these, I'd love to make them. God knowledge. In the game code, Comanche Defense has an ability called Da Choppa, but was eventually removed. Probably a dev was trying something out, but forgot to move it for a few updates. And yes, it was in all caps. While the game might look like a top-down tower defense, if you get a camera to change the angle, you can see that the entire game is completely distorted and strange. This is done because the camera is supposed to be at a slight angle from the player's perspective, and to maintain that perspective, the devs at Ninja Kiwi had to do some creative modeling. In the game files, there is a fully functioning mechanic that makes projectiles slow down over time, but isn't used anywhere in the entire game. Hydro rocket pods increase exponentially from pierce bonuses. The projectile and the explosion have 6 pierce, and the projectile can create an explosion for every 2 pierce rounded up, resulting into up to 3 explosions that can pop up to 6 balloons each, a total of max 18 pops. However, if the rocket is buffed by stronger stimulant, the rocket can create 5 explosions. This allows a rocket to pop up to 45 balloons. After you beat balloons, you can enter free play and try to get as far as possible. Normally, you can only get to the high 300s, but with the use of mods, you can get up into the millions. After you get a certain distance though, the game will break and infinitely go up in rounds, gaining you massive amounts of insta-monkeys and XP. In Bloons Tower Defense, there's something known as a hacker pool. If you're ever caught hacking or modifying the game files, you have a chance to be shadow banned and put into this hacker pool, where you're not allowed to join in any online competitions or play online with anybody unless they have your code. You can know if you're shadow banned if you have these two leaves right up here behind your options. Oh, I'm in the hacker pool. And last but certainly not least, and might be one of my favorite tidbits of knowledge almost nobody knows about, is that when trying to get a vengeful sun god temple, the monkey temple gets checked with a method called check TCB00, which then runs the checks for sacrifices. If successful, the method it calls has a strange name: Sacrifice Batman and RoboCop. When the towers pass to it, it is referenced being named as Darkest of Dark Nights and Most Terrifying Tech Terror, which is absolutely hilarious. Small clap for the team at Ninja Kiwi. And there we have it, my friends. We have noob to god level knowledge in Bloons Tower Defense. How many of these did you know? Did you learn anything new? When I set out to make this video, I actually learned quite a bit. I knew a lot of these things, but once I got into the higher tiers and started asking around, I actually learned quite a bit and had a lot of fun with it. If you guys want to see more of these types of videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.